Jenny, and what we do, we heard from both Kering and Stella McCartney that the biggest impact in fashion industry is at the raw material level. So what we do is to create a new raw material by recycling textile. So by using our technology, strange precision, recycling clothes finally works. I will show a short movie of what we do.
There is fashion everywhere, on everybody, and in almost every store. But producing all these clothes means more carbon emissions, more chemicals, more waste, and more water use. It's not sustainable. But there is a way to put fashion first without putting the environment second. Because we know how to recycle cotton so it can be turned into new fibers, yarn, fabrics and garments that can be produced and worn with a clear conscience, and then recycled again and again. So give us your used jeans or any used garments. We upcycle them into a new biodegradable raw material called Renewcell pulp, which has the same or higher quality than virgin pulp and can be fed into the textile production cycle. Recycling clothes finally works.
So, as many of you probably know, there is a lot of textile waste in the world. Only about 75% of what is being produced, or as I said, 75% of what is being produced is going to waste. It's going for incineration or it's going to landfill. Only 1% is currently going back to new fibers. And this is what we want to do something about, because we cannot have a future that looks like this. It's terrible. So what we have done is to close the loop in fiber to fiber recycling. So by using our technology that is built on a combination, it's a chemical process, but we also have some elements of mechanical processes that are closely related to the pulp industry. The wood pulp industry is an old industry in Sweden, and our innovations comes from this field, working with wood pulp. So we recycle the used textiles, and our raw material, or what we make, is this. It's dissolving pulp, but instead of making it from wood, you make it from used textiles. And these can be used as a new raw material for making man-made cellulosic fibers like viscose or lyocell. So we have the fiber producer, yarn spinner, fabric producer. The rest of the chain remains the same as it is today. So you can, of course, use the best available technology in each step. But what is different, of course, is that we can also take waste from each of these steps. We can take waste when you spin the yarn, when you make the fabric, the weaving has a lot of waste. When you make the garment, you have a lot of cutting waste, and so on. We can take unsold garments or garments where something goes wrong. There are mold coming in the shipment, or there are too high chemical contents for the garments to be sold, or they are not just sold for any reason. So we can take textile material from all these steps in the supply chain. And of course, once the garments are used and cannot be used anymore, they are worn out, they are stained, they are totally out of fashion, then we want to take them back. We, of course, encourage to reuse the garments or upcycle them also as long as possible, if possible. But there will be a stage when they cannot be used as textile or garments anymore. Then they should come to us. So the process, in short, works like this. So we receive the textile waste from different type of different stages of the supply chain. We want the high cellulosic content textile We mainly work with cotton, but we can also work with other cellulose-based materials like viscose, acetate, modal, for example. So we take the textiles in, full garments, yarns, threads, fabric cuttings, and we shred them into very small pieces. This is a difference when you work with the mechanical recycling. We want to keep the fibers long. We want to cut them very short. So the textiles are shredded, and they go into a wet stage, where we start to take away the dye stuff. Our dye stuffs that are used today are extremely strong. They are even stronger than the fibers themselves. But we have to take away the dyes, and we start to separate the fibers. So there's a liquid slurry. It looks like an orange juice with pulp. So you have the water, and you have the small pieces of fibers inside. So the dye is going out, and also here we can start to take away small pieces of unwanted materials, like there could be small pieces of lycra or polyester or something else that is not cellulose. So we take it out at this step. And this slurry then is going for bleaching. We bleach with a gas. And also we use some non-harmful chemicals in this process, but the chemicals are used until they are consumed, then we add new ones. So the chemicals that we use do not affect the quality of the water. This process requires around 10 liters of water per kilo of pulp produced, which is quite little. And we are working on that process to come down to probably around 5 liters of water. So it's a small impact, and the water goes out into the lake close to where we are located, so after passing through the water cleaning system, of course. So it's a friendly process. Then the last step of the plant is more or less like a paper mill. We make these sheets out of the bleached pulp. And then this can go for the fiber production. This plant that we have built is located in Sweden. It has a capacity of 7,000 tons of dissolving pulp per year. We are currently only running one shift. We are waiting for the permits from the government to run 3 shifts. So hopefully we will be up at a quite good scale. But currently we are produce around up to 20 tons per week. We'll see when we can scale up a little bit more. So, yes. Since we made this presentation, we had the breakthrough. We have now produced 40 tons of fibers in China. And since we have made the fibers, we are also releasing our brand, which is called Circulose, circular cellulose. And we will have our launch at the Première Vision in Paris in September. So it's very exciting, and after that will follow a few collections together with 3 secret brands, but you will know sooner or later. So this is what we have, the Circulose. I have a stand outside also, so you can come and see me there. It's a super good material. Low impact on the environment, low energy, climate positive. We are working closely with organizations like Canopy to be smart and have as little effect on the environment as possible. And we are in line with very many of UN sustainability goals. So we believe that this is material for the future, and it's scalable. We are looking now at building the next plant, which is supposed to be 3 to 4 times bigger than the current one. Great. Come and see me.
Thank you, Jenny.